Motion, please. And we would also be having Prem Apte, the head of management training program of Zensa. We'll take him for a call. But first of all, we would request Moshavi to present testing and production, your key to engaging customers. Moshavi, only when we feel hungry, we would stop you. And Shaman, we'll be having the session post lunch. So this will be the last session before lunch, and you go. So the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for having this kind of a forum where we could collaborate. I think it will take a long way. So my topic today is testing in production, your key to engaging customers. So when I got this topic, I was a little surprised why we should test in production. We try to keep away from production, right? So there are some caveats to it. However, we'll talk about how we can test in production and how we can keep the customers engaged throughout. So the agenda would cover some myths about testing, the traditional method that we usually follow, how close can we really get to production. So we have to be really, really careful what testing we are doing in production because it's a very sensitive area. Agile testing is something new which has come up with the agile methodology of development. It keeps us engaged with the customers very much. So we need to be aware of agile testing. I will highlight some of the testing best practices. Usage of metrics, which Mr. Kulkarni also mentioned. Some of the testing tools which you could use in different areas. And summary. So I'll start with some of the myths about testing. Testing is nothing but debugging. So when developers code, they obviously have to debug their code and they have to do unit testing. And then they have to give it to the testing team where the whole scenario starts. So testing is not just about debugging. Not the job of a programmer. So the developer, as you all know, has to unit test his code and then only he go to transfer it to the tester. And then only the job of the tester begins. And he has to be very collaborative with the tester so that the test case development is thorough. So the tester gets help from the developer. That also needs to be there. Starts only after completion of coding. This is also used to happen in the traditional method, but currently in the new method, we follow testing processes from the beginning of the project. So the tester or the test manager has to be involved from the start of the project. He has to know what kind of strategy he has to follow, what kind of planning methods he needs to use, so that the requirements are closely coupled with the testing that is coming later. Testing is demonstration of zero defect. This, as a tester, might not be true. A product cannot be zero defect. What a tester could say is the combination of testing that I've used, the environment and the test data I've used, based on that I can say that this is zero defect. However, there might be some defects in the product which the testers cannot say it's totally zero defect. Testing is not creative, the thinking tester. So this you need to understand well because testing is not just executing test cases, just manually, just mechanically you go on doing it. You have to think about the application that you are testing, about the product that you are testing. So you need to think about scenarios. So testers need to put on their thinking caps also. Testing is too expensive. This is nothing. This is totally away from the truth. The cost of quality is too high. The percentage of rework that might be required, the defects that need to be fixed if testing is not done properly is too much. All defects are to be fixed. This also is not necessarily true. In some cases, there might be 2 or 3 design approaches. And choosing 1 or 2 design approach might keep one defect remaining, which all stakeholders might agree to, including the clients. So it's not really that you go and fix each and every defect. Now this is a traditional V model. The business requirements come in, you do the business requirements document, it gets reviewed, then you create a systems requirement document, then you have the components requirement, you do a design review, and then actually the product development is starting. And usually in the traditional method, what used to happen is only after development is complete, that is, a unit test is over, the testing team kicks in and the testing begins. However, currently the process that we follow, we involve the testing much earlier from the business requirements itself, so that the tester knows what is coming in, rather than finding defects at a very later stage, which can be very costly. So after product development, there was testing, then test entry review, then you do the functional test, system integration test, and you exit the review and it goes to user acceptance and then deployed to production. So the disadvantages of the traditional testing, if you can see, the defects are found out much later, then the test cases kind of become static, you do not have scope for much change, and the testers might get demotivated. So that is another issue. And net-net, what happens is scripted testing is not very much responsive to change. So these were the disadvantages. So how close can we really get to production and make the customers interactive? Scenarios versus requirements. We know that at the start of a project, we gather requirements. But what we need to understand is, we need to look at scenarios as testers. We need to think about a bunch of requirements or functionalities which can be called as scenarios and test those scenarios. So that will really let you know, or let the tester know whether I am getting the benefit out of that product. Not necessarily mechanically you go on testing some test cases. So scenarios versus requirements. Earlier we used to just look at requirements, so that is not necessarily true. You'll have to look at scenarios now. Usage of prototypes. Prototypes are usually used to test certain ideas. You quickly develop something, you test it in production and see whether it is usable. So you can throw it away if it is not required. So prototypes are a good way of testing ideas. Limited releases are something like, say, Gap is a very big organization. It has thousands of stores across the world. So when it is releasing certain application, it might think, okay, I will release this application only to certain stores in Asia Pacific. So that way they have, if something goes wrong, they have a way to correct themselves quicker. User acceptance testing, this happens just before production in a very production-like environment. Also sometimes what happens is data is copied from production to user acceptance environments, so that people can test in very much production-like environments, and what happens is the data that is copied, that might have sensitive data, that data gets masked. So there are tools which does that. So in that environment, if you test, you get to know how it will behave like in the actual production environment. Agile testing I already touched upon. I'll show some details later. These are the non-functional testing, that is the performance testing, destructive testing. These usually you do in production, but in a very limited way. Product user group, this is another very good way to get customer feedback. You might have heard about Google+, that is Google's take on Facebook. They have recently invited very few users to test their product. So they are getting feedback from those users, and then only they will release it to all users. So there are product user groups for many such products, like IBM has many products on Lotus Notes, on WebSphere, where we have user groups, where we solicit feedback from customers. Customer residency. This is another thing which IBM follows. What happens is we have big IBM labs where we test our products. We invite customers to those labs, and the customers test along with the testers. And what advantage it gives to the testers, it lets the testers know the usage pattern of the customers, and they come up with new scenarios which they might not have thought earlier. So the customer residency is very much like production testing. Product certification testing is something which happens just after you have deployed to production. The key features are tested and the product is certified as to be used. So this is product certification testing which happens in production. A review of test cases with business analysts. As I was mentioning, the testers need to be very much involved with the requirements from the very start of the project. So once they write test cases, they need to be able to review them with the business analysts and the client organization. Usage of tools, I was mentioning that production data can be copied to user acceptance environments. There is a tool called Opting which can do